Buongiorno a tutti e benvenuti a questo evento online dedicato al mercato della Slovenia, alle opportunità di business in Slovenia. Io sono Daniela Pedrotti, dirigo l'area internazionalizzazione di Trentino Sviluppo e questo evento è organizzato nell'ambito del Sistema Nord Est per l'internazionalizzazione, di cui dopo avremo una piccolissima presentazione, che è di fatto una rete per l'internazionalizzazione che propone iniziative congiunte per tutte le imprese del sistema Nord-Est. Volevo prima di tutto ringraziare voi tutti per la presenza, anche la collega Ginevra che in questi giorni ha lavorato tanto per l'organizzazione di questo evento. Vi ricordo che sarà un webinar soprattutto in lingua inglese. In italiano all'inizio vi darò soltanto alcune istruzioni pratiche per come sarà gestito il webinar. Poi tutti gli interventi dei nostri relatori saranno in inglese, a parte l'ultimo di Lara Cernetic, che è una co-organizzatrice di questo evento e che già ringrazio, che sarà di nuovo in italiano in modo da riassumere i concetti principali che sono stati trattati e poi raccontarvi più nel dettaglio quali possono essere opportunità operative di come procedere con progetti di entrata nel mercato sloveno. Alla fine concluderemo con una sessione di domande e risposte. Potete alzare la mano prenotandovi e quindi vi abiliteremo ad aprire il video e il microfono, oppure scrivere le vostre domande in chat e le leggeremo noi alla fine. Vi avviso per ultimo che il webinar sarà registrato e che poi la registrazione sarà disponibile sul sito del sistema Nord Est. Quindi passo all'inglese. Welcome to all our participants today, to companies that have joined us in a great number. More than 50 companies are listening to this event of today, and a great thank you to our guest of today, all coming from the Slovenian market and representing the local Chamber of Commerce and also expert of the sectors we will talk today. You know, internationalization context is very difficult nowadays. Each morning we have news and bad news often about new wars, increase of commercial tariffs or change of commercial tariffs, costs that are becoming very challenging for a company, energy, logistic, raw materials cost, and also increase of export risk. But what the message I want to share with you is that I've read in a research that Italian companies are especially that are in internationalization, that have internationalization programs at the moment, are more resilient, they are more innovative, better organized, and so I'm pretty sure they will be able to find new commercial opportunities. The message of today is that there is a great network of institutions in Italy and also in the foreign markets, and we will get in touch with them directly today, that it can help you really to proceed in your internationalization projects. So a couple of words about the program of today. We will speak, as I said before, about the Slovenian market. We will have an introduction about the market in general and economic outlook by Mariana Majeric, Executive Director of the Strategic Development and Internationalization in the Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Slovenia. Then we have three sectorial focus. We will speak firstly about the agri-food sector with Tina Bu, Area Manager of the Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises. Then we have a focus on the wood industry, innovation, sustainability, and cross-border opportunities and cooperation with Bernard Licard, representative of GZS, Wood and Furniture Industry Association. And then we will conclude with the last sector, automotive industry, with Tanja Mohoric, Director of Slovenian Automotive Cluster. The end will be dedicated and held by Lara Cernetic, our collaborator in this program, that will focus on the concrete opportunities of business that we can join, that you can have as new opportunities in the Slovenian market, and also network opportunities between you, our companies, Italian companies and Slovenian companies. So I think that's all for my introduction. I really invite you to join with curiosity and to note your questions in the chat starting from now. Before we start, I will give the floor very briefly to Luisa Corbelletto, which is the coordinator of the Sistema Nord Est project. And after Luisa, I will give also the floor to Lara Cernetic, CEO of ECC Group, which will also welcome us and explain something about what's coming next. So I wish you a good event, and yeah, you're Luisa, the floor.
Thank you very much, Daniela. So good morning, everyone. I'm Luisa Corbelletto, Head of Chairman Office Institutional Relations Special Project of Finest and Sprint Friuli Venezia Giulia Coordinator. First of all, I would like to thank Trentino Sviluppo for organizing this webinar, as well as all the partners of the Sistema Nord Est per l'internazionalizzazione for their continuous commitment. My greetings also go to all the distinguished speakers joining us today, and of course to all the companies connected that are the main focus of our activities. Today's webinar is part of a broader jointly effort aimed at supporting companies from northeast of Italy in approaching international markets in a more structured and informed way. So 2 words about Sistema Nord Est. This project is a strategic initiative jointly promoted and funded by the Autonomous Region of Friuli Venezia Giulia, the Veneto region and the autonomous province of Trento, with the aim of strengthening the internationalization processes of our business ecosystems through shared actions and coordinated approach. This partnership also includes Unioncamere del Veneto, the Serbian Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and the Chamber of Commerce of Craft of the Eastern region. Moreover, the initiative is supported by Finest as a coordinating body, together with Sprint Friuli Venezia Giulia, Trentino Sviluppo, and Venice Promex as operative partners. So, as Daniela previously said, in this context marked by a very strong geopolitical instability, we are fostering resilient strategies such as nearshoring, with a strong focus on the neighboring countries and also the Balkan area as a key strategic axis for competitiveness. In this framework, Slovenia represents a highly attractive market for Northeast Italian companies, not only due to its geographical proximities, but also thanks to a shared European regulatory framework and a demand structure closely aligned with our production specialization. So, for instance, as the following speakers will show, several key sectors offer tangible opportunities for cooperation and growth. So I'm really sure that today's discussions will provide valuable insights into these trends and help companies better understand how to approach this market with awareness and strategic vision. So I'm concluding. So thank you again for your attention, and for any further information about the Sistema Nord Est, please feel free to contact us directly or through our partners, and visit our website, www.sistemanordest.com. Thank you. I'm finished. I was really brief.
Thank you, Luisa. Maybe we can write the website of Sistema Nord Est here in the chat so it is known and clear for everyone. So the word to you, Lara. Thank you.
Yeah, I will be short and brief because we'll leave more space to our speakers today. So good morning, everybody. It's a real pleasure really to see such a strong interest for today's webinar. We are very happy about that. Of course, I would also like to thank the Trentino Sviluppo and the Sistema Nord Est for the collaboration and for this opportunity to be able to organize today's event together. And a big thanks goes, of course, to our speakers today, who will enlighten us and present what are the opportunities of our big, small, important market. And of course, thank you also to all participants and for your interest. So these kind of initiatives definitely helps to bring closer our economies and also to further strengthen already a very good collaboration between our region. So without any further ado, I would like really to give the floor to our first speaker, the Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia, Marijana Majerič. Please, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So, prijazen pozdrav, buongiorno, ladies and gentlemen. It is really a pleasure to be with you today. Unfortunately online, but I hope that in the near future we will meet, of course, in person. So at the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia, we are proud to represent more than 175 years of tradition that is built really on deep trust, stability, and of course, deep commitment to the development of Slovenian industry. But tradition alone is not what defines us. We are really an institution with national importance. We are part of economic social dialogue with voluntary membership, but still biggest and most important representatives of whole Slovene economy. We as CCIS, we have a really strong position within the Euro Chamber and International Chamber of Industry. Therefore, we possess a really strong international mindset, deeply embedded in global network of partners. And among these partners, of course, the cooperation with Trentino stands out as a particularly valuable example of how neighboring regions can grow stronger together. Looking, let's say, next steps, this webinar is about that. We will exchange the information and provide insights how we can further strengthen the development within this partnership. I would like now, let's say, to emphasize that more than 80 plus member companies has prepared a strategic document with concrete action plan that includes 88 must-to-do tasks that reflects vision of Made in Slovenia 2035. Why I'm saying this is that we as really responsible representative of the economy, we presented this program ahead of this election to all political Slovenian political parties. And I'm pleased to say that many of our priority has been reflected in their programs. What reflects this, it is important to underline that we are not a political institution, but we are the voice of economy. We have the vision that focuses on the business and investment that is oriented toward the country that is really open, innovative, and strongly connected to international value chains. We now on Sunday we had a Slovenian election. That's why I am telling this. Slovenia had so we had this election, and with a clear outcome that our business community has key message that we would like to have this continuity and stability further on. My presentation, is it possible to share it? So next slide, please. I structured my presentation around three key questions. So what we are today as Slovenian economy, what is changing in the broader economy and European context, and where we see the major opportunities for cooperation. Next slide. So if I start with where we are today and where we are going, Slovenian economy is really strongly industrial and deeply integrated in European value chain, with sectors like electrical industry, smart factories, and already moving toward advanced technology-driven solution. So to ensure our further growth, we are now focusing very deliberately on areas where Slovenia has, let's say, clear competitive advantage and the strongest potential for development and synergies. With the program Made in Slovenia 2035, we have identified 8 strategic industrial domains, not only by, let's say, analyzing key challenges, but also to define concrete investment priorities and measures for the next period, including we prepared all, let's say, financial framework. What does it mean for you as our partners? It means that we have clarity, focus, and overview where opportunities are lying. Next slide. If we look at the structure of this 8 sector that I presented on this slide, the message is very, very clear. These sectors already generate more than, let's say, half of Slovenian total revenue, create around 60% of value added, employ more than 60% of the workforce, and are strongly export oriented, with nearly 70% of revenue coming from international markets. This means that these sectors already have scalability, then capability, and of course international experiences, which make this highly consistent and ready for concrete business and investment partnerships. Next slide. So if I summarize across these 8 strategic sectors, Slovenia's development is focused on key transformation, so sustainable mobility and green transition of the automotive sector. That's why we have Tanja Mohoric today with us. Electrification, automation, and AI in industry. Advanced pharmaceutical and biotechnology, smart green infrastructure, logistic and construction, circular economy and sustainable materials, agri-food systems and food security. Tina Buch will tell much more about that. And of course, wooden value chain, supported by the fact that Slovenia is among the top 3 forested countries in Europe, and Bernarda Likar will present this part as well. So what is important for you is fact that these sectors are coordinated, that their transformation is toward higher value added innovation and resilience, and this creates a structured space for cooperation across industrial technologies and of course value chains. Next slide. So Slovenian companies in these sectors are planning more than 90 billion of investment by 2035, one of the strongest development impulse in our economic history that tell us that Slovenia is not only adapting, that is actively investing in future-oriented sectors and repositioning, let's say, our economy for long-term growth. Next slide. If these investments are, let's say, implemented by 2035, Slovenia could increase GDP by around 48%, accelerate annual growth, and preserve, of course, or create 55,000 new jobs. And this is not only about growth. What is focused here is about productivity, competitiveness, and of course, long-term stability. Next slide. So what I have presented so far is about a coherent development framework, and this matters because in unstable environment, as Daniela mentioned, economies with clear focus and directions are better positioned to adopt, invest, and integrate into these global value chains. This is exactly what we have with this ambition in Made in Slovenia's 2035 that we presented, as I said, bottom up together with our member companies. And this is something that gives, let's say, overview, let's say, where we as Slovenia stand. But now, next slide, we are coming what is changing in the broader economic or European context. This is something what I did in comparison, let's say, to four most important, let's say, economic partners of Slovenia. And with this in mind, now let me turn to, let's say, broader European and global context. We are seeing early signs of improvement in European demand and reflected in PMI indicators across the larger EU economies. You can see most countries are now moving back toward the long-term average, which suggests that business activity is gradually stabilizing. Here we can see that Spain is currently showing the strongest and most dynamic recovery, while Italy is performing solidly with a relatively stable and resilient trend, which is a positive signal for business confidence and continuity. At the same time, recovery remains uneven, if you can see, particularly to the weaker and more volatile dynamic in Germany. For all of us here presented here today, this is important because it means that while the European environment is improving, reliable regional partnership like between Slovenia and Italy are becoming even more valuable for stable growth and supply chain resilience. Next slide. Across the major European economies, we can see a similar pattern, so decline, following by stabilization and now gradually upward movement. Italy experienced, as you could see on this graph, deeper drop, but is now showing consistent and solid recovery. Spain remains the most stable, while Germany is improving, but still somehow unstable. What does it mean? We are entering a phase of early recovery, not yet strong growth, but clearly improving, let's say, condition. For Slovenia, this is very important as our economy is closely linked to this for market. Next slide. If Next slide, yes. If we look specifically at manufacturing, this picture is clearly weaker. Across Europe, manufacturing PMI indicator remains below the long-term average. This is the, let's say, this red crossed line. Germany, as you can see, continues the show of the weak performance, and this is important again for Slovenia, as we are closely integrated in the German industry supply chains. Italy and Spain show here somehow more stability, but still not strong and sustainable recovery. Here the key message is that manufacturing is stabilizing, but not yet recovering as we would needed or wished. So next slide. So if we now look at Slovenia compared to the EU, we can see an important shift. Until recently, Slovenia was growing above the EU average, but since early 2025, our growth has slowed and is now below the EU level. The main reason is structural. Slovenia is strongly linked to manufacturing and, of course, export, especially to Germany, which, as we saw, is currently weaker. And at the same time, EU growth is more supported by services and domestic demand. What does it mean? That means that Slovenia is currently more exposed to the weaker part of the European, let's say, industrial cycle. But this also means that when industrial demand recovers, Slovenia can, let's say, rebound faster. And that is a moment where Slovenia is adjusting and repositioning, creating opportunities for partners who will enter now. And I think that Italy is the right partner for that. Next slide. And if we now look at construction, the picture is clear, more positive. Since quarter two, 2025, we see a strong rebound, driven mainly by non-residential projects and infrastructure investment. Civil engineering is also picking up, while residential construction remains more gradual. And what this, let's say, graphs are telling us, so the constructions is currently becoming one of the key drivers of recovery, let's say, supported by the investment in infrastructure, energy, and industrial development. And this creates concrete opportunities in projects, putting us in supply chains and, of course, partnership. Next slide. And if we look more closely at manufacturing, there is still no real turnaround in 2025. So overall production remains flat, pointing to stagnation rather than recovery. And the weakness segment is intermediate goods, reflecting, let's say, soft demand in European supply chains. And capital goods are also weak, showing cautions in investment. So more sustainable and consumer goods, but without strong, let's say, growth. The key message here is really simple. Manufacturing is not declining, but not recovering either. So for Slovenia, this is important. It means continued, let's say, pressure on export-oriented industries. At the same time, a clear need to move toward higher value-added activities and a more resilient supply chain. And next slide, please. And here we see the main opportunities, let's say, for cooperation. If we look at the sectors with the highest expected growth in 2026, a clear, let's say, pattern emerged. Growth is concentrated in construction, knowledge-intensive services, ICT. Let's say, of course, artificial intelligence is shifting toward the more technology-driven and service, let's say, integrated activities. manufacturing remains important, but it's not the main short-term growth driver. But what is important, the sectors that will be presented, besides my dear colleagues, wood, food, and automotive, are now are not here chosen randomly, but here we have strong position within the Slovene economy, and where new growth dynamics lies, and where we can see the strong potential for value creation, and of course creation of strong businesses and personal partnership. And next slide. And if we now look at the investment dynamic, growth will differ across asset categories. The strongest outlook is in building and infrastructure, including transportation, mobility, energy, and non-residential projects. This confirms construction as a key driver of growth. Then investment in equipment and machinery, that remains more cautious in 2025, but with a gradual improvement that is expected in 2026. At the same time, investment in knowledge and technology, especially in pharmaceutical and electric industry, remains stable. Then the key message here is that investment is not declining, but is becoming, let's say, more selective and strategically focused. So next slide. I will conclude now. Here, maybe to share that, as we can see, the environment is clearly changing. With, let's say, slower industrial recovery, and with, let's say, increasing of global uncertainty. But at the same time, a new economic landscape is, let's say, emerging, more regional, more connected, and more partnership driven. And this where Slovenian position becomes very relevant, not as, let's say, large market, Lara mentioned, but as high integrated, flexible, and reliable industrial partner within, let's say, Europe. And of course, importantly, Slovenia combines this with really high-skilled workforce, strong engineering and innovation tradition, and on the highest level of productivity in the region. For Italian companies, this means strong industrial complementaries, and of course concrete opportunities for cooperation, especially in advanced industry, food, wood, automotive, infrastructure, energy. And we see with this presentation of Made in Slovenia 2035, we are giving this transformation a clear direction. I believe that this creates and puts in your sites on your side strong trust in deepening this cooperation between Slovenia and Italy. And as we, as chamber, we are, let's say, covering 13 regional and 25 branch chambers. And we are, as you see, connected with all strategic research innovational partnerships. These are our clusters. So we are really connected within the Slovenia. So if you need the partner for the information and for your growth, chamber is the right, let's say, contact point. And beside of that, around the globe, we have more than 230, let's say, partnering entities that can, let's say, our common partnership bring then further to the world. So thank you very much for your attention. It was more statistically and let's say colored, but now I think that my colleagues will deeper down in their sectors. This is strategic overview, and I wish you all good luck and all best with your businesses as well as personal wise.
Thank you. Mariana Majeric, Executive Director of Strategic Development and Internationalization of Chamber of Commerce and Industry in Slovenia, for your speech. Very interesting. Not statistic. I had not this impression. I had instead the feeling that there are many similarities between our economies and many things in common that can bring also thanks to you and to our the project we can develop then together that can become really business opportunity for our respective companies. So as you announced, it is now time to go deeper into some of the economic we will focus on. We start with the agri-food sector. So I'm really glad to give the word and the virtual floor to Tina Bu, area manager of the Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises, and we will have information about quality supply chains and trade opportunities of this market. And I'm looking forward to hear what you have to tell us, please.
Yes, hello.
Hello.
Dear
It is not the first slide, it is the...
Yes, sorry,
go back a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Now it's okay, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, dear distinguished guests, dear businessmen from Northeast Italy, dear ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tina Buch, area manager from Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises. And please be welcome and seated in around the green table of Europe as we promote Slovenia abroad. So that Slovenian agri-food industry is like a, let's say, green table of Europe, small part of a big agri-food environment. So today I will just briefly represent the Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises. We are the chamber within our umbrella Mother Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Slovenia. We are the biggest organization of Slovenian agri-food sector. On national level, we bring together producers of food, beverages, wine and spirits, and other specialized food products. We support them to export, innovate in terms of quality and sustainability of the production. And we are actively connected also abroad. So we connect Slovenian and foreign companies as we also would like to do it today. So why Slovenia? We already heard a little bit about the connection. So this geographically proximity, it's very close. So our two regions or countries are neighbors, and this efficient logistic could connect us even more. We shared also EU regulatory framework, so we have the same, let's say, measures in terms of production and quality of the product. We also already heard, and you mentioned, we are very complementary in terms of product profiles with also your Northeast region of Italy. And as mentioned before, Trentino Sviluppo identifies Slovenia as a priority market for also Italian companies, aligned demand and specialization with ours companies. As I briefly present the structure of agri-food sector in Slovenia, so we have more than 800 companies producing food and beverages in Slovenia with almost 16,000 employees. Our companies have total revenues in 2024, so 3.5 billion euros. And the share of sales on foreign market is quite high. So companies' sales abroad more than 37% of their production. In terms of sectors, so the value-added structures, if we see the sectors, the main productive sectors in Slovenia is meat and meat products, followed by flour milling and bakery products. And then it's milk production and other food products. So small sectors, other products. As we see the foreign trade, so Slovenian partners abroad, most of food products we import from Croatia, followed by Italy and Germany. In terms of export of food product, the main market is Croatia, so the nearest countries, followed by Italy and Austria, and also other countries in small shares. So I could conclude that Italy is one of the Slovenia's top trade partners in terms of import and exports, and as we could conclude, also consumer expectations in terms of food products and let's say culinary habits are very similar to our markets. As I continue with business opportunities for Italian companies, I put it for different, let's say, area of cooperation. The first one could be value chain partnerships, so that we joined product development, so that two companies could try new recipes, packaging, or I don't know, collaborate in a private label manner for retailing. Other opportunities are also collaboration in sustainability and digitalization projects. We also heard that this national strategic program made in Slovenia is also focusing on these priorities. And maybe just one information for you. We, as a Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises, also coordinate strategic research and innovation partnership in terms of smart specialization strategy in Europe in the field of sustainable agri-food production. So we let's say, coordinate all the stakeholders in terms of sustainable agri-food production in Slovenia. So the second group of opportunities could be export and import synergies. In the past, we have good relationship with Italian partners in terms of distribution or some kind of promoting Slovenian partners in Italy, or also Italian partners in Slovenia. And so Slovenian producers seek distribution partners in Italy and some kind of promotion, but also Italian producers could access a premium and quality-driven partners base within Slovenian market. So the third group of opportunities could be investment and joint development projects. So the opportunities within national innovation sustainability programs, also cross-border EU funding potential. Maybe here I mentioned that we are deeply involved in some kind of cluster for projects also with Italian partners, Italian chambers in terms of agri-food field. So we are also even today participating in a lot of, let's say, projects with Italian partners. And Slovenia is some kind of ideal as pilot market for maybe for new product of food industry from Italian side because we are small, we are transparent, and we could give you fast feedback for your new products. And the fourth group of opportunities could be matchmaking, so similar as we are doing today. We start with this process, but still maybe followed by some kind of B2B matchmaking with concrete companies on both sides. So as I could conclude that Slovenia is a stable, nearby, high quality and innovation market. We have strong potential for supply chain partnership, joint innovation, and as I mentioned, export and import growth on both sides. And we are looking forward to support further connections and B2B meetings in the future if there is, let's say, potential or interest on both sides. And maybe this is briefly from my side all, but I'm very looking forward for some additional question from the auditorium. So thank you.
Thank you, Tina Buch, Area Manager of Chamber of Agriculture and Food Enterprises in Slovenia. And thank you also for the support you offered to our companies to get in touch with your Slovenian company. At this time, I also remind you that you can write your questions to our speaker in the chat or you can take the time to put your question with your voice at the end of our presentations. So I will like to welcome Bernard Licard, our next speaker, representative of GZS, which is the Wood and Furniture Industry Association. And so it is time to go into the wood industry sector, innovation, sustainability, and cross-border cooperation. The floor is your Bernard. Just let me know if we have to share your presentation or you do it by yourself.
Please to share by your side.
Okay.
Super. Thank you. So welcome also from side of Wood Processing and Furniture Association at Chamber of Commerce. I'm Bernard Licard. I'm advisor on this association. So I'll just will introduce you briefly about our sector, what we are, what we do, and where we can find some common business together. So please, next slide. So we can say that perception of Slovenia is also, I think, from contact we have in Italy already, is that it's a green country. Also that is creative and a smart country. We also specify these three main, postulates in the national campaign driven by Slovenia. So what I can say that also for our sector, this is mainly the right characterization. So please, next slide. So in Slovenia, we have three main advantage. So the first one is the location of Slovenia itself, because this give us and our companies possibility to reach all main European markets quite easily. The first and the most important market is actually Italian market, and then followed by Austrian and German markets, and also Croatia. So if probably sometimes you find very hard to explain where Slovenia lie, because it's a very small country, and we say you can just think about that we are between Vienna and Venice. So in that sense, everybody know where we are located. Next slide. So the second strength of Slovenia is our forests. We are as I mentioned Mariana before, we are third country in Europe by land covered by forests. There's quite a lot of surface covered by different wood species. This gives us also good and firmly basis for our sector development. And actually, at the moment, we maybe not we are not succeed to processing every all logs who is annually fell down. And therefore, this percentage of covered by forest is growing year by year. So maybe next 2 years we'll also achieve 60%. Next slide, please. Yes, the third, I say, strong point of our sector are the companies itself. Actually, in our sector, wood processing and furniture sector, I mean, operate about 2,500 companies and entrepreneurs. Altogether have about 20,000 employees and have now slightly reaching 50,000 euros added value per employee. And actually, we are somehow 2 billion euro annual revenue. But important is to know that because the Slovenian economy is very small, almost all companies who reach level of 10 or 50 people must go to export. Therefore, our sector is strongly oriented on the foreign markets. At the moment, we reach about 45% of this export. Mostly oriented to the markets I mentioned before. It's markets in the diameter of 500 kilometers around Slovenia. Actually, all the companies are very well equipped. I think with machines, with CNC and all other things. They also implement digitalization very quickly, and they are more or less all oriented to custom-made product. We haven't any significant big company industrial way of production anymore, because we lost this some decade ago. But the companies who are now growing up, they are very focused to satisfy the customers, and then they offered all kinds of niche product, custom-oriented products. So we say it always: if we can produce any chairs or house or furniture or some other things, or doors, windows, starting by one item up. And also to mention the last one on this, that we have quite strong trend of sustained growth in the last decade, in spite of this different disturbance of the market. This gives us good feeling that also the sector will grow in next years also. Next slide, please. So a little bit statistic also of our sector, just to 2 slides very shortly. So one is about how it's going on our export and import. You can see that more or less we always have surplus on export. So we more export than import. And this value is about 1.2 billion euros annually about export. So where are going this export? Please, next slide. Here the 2 pictures. You can see in the left side some figures about the export from Slovenia. We mostly exported to Italy, as I mentioned before. And the main of this share of the export going to wood products. So the material. Sorry.
Probably next slide, Ginevra, I think. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this one.
Correct.
This one. Sorry. Yeah. So here is the left side is figures about export, and Italy is the biggest partner of our sector, and mostly we exported wood and wood materials, and also some doors, windows, and so on, and less as in the furniture. On the right side, you can see what we import in Slovenia in our sector, to use in our sector. And the first is Austria, and followed by Germany and Italy. So Italy also very strong point, and we more import furniture items than wood in processing items. Please, next slide. Here are just a few of trademarks or maybe companies who are the biggest one in each part of our sector. You can do the left side, the wood processing companies, more or less, Marles, Ilovica, Lumar, and Rico are manufacturers of prefabricated houses. They have Sora, Inles, Liblet are companies, the biggest companies producing doors and windows. On the right side, you can see furniture companies, Alples Stilles, Gonzaga, Donar, Klun, Murales, Potočnik, and Hit Preles. Most of those companies are oriented, as I mentioned before, in the custom-made product, but also they have very strong, I say, point on interiors equipment. So furnishing the hotels and the vessels and other things. Next slide, please. Here is just a few pictures about the product industry in this furniture part of sector. And this next slide. Here we have some pictures about the product on the wood processing side. So actually, you can find in Slovenia as raw material, as semi-product, but also some very innovative and high-end product, but not in the, I would say, big scale. It's just in the term of custom-made products, the small series, niche products, maybe some objects and so on. Please, next slide. Here we have just two. This and next slide are just for your use later on. I think that this presentation will be shared with all of you, and you can take a more deep look at our furniture and wood processing sector using this export catalog. On the next slide, here is the same, but here is just a link to our presentation of sector a little bit briefly. Also, the next slide is just a link to can use you later to see a little bit deeper some video about our sector. So please, next slide. Go no, the previous one, please. One back. So, and this part of just a few minutes, it's about some words about ecosystem of our sector, how we functioning, which I would say main institutions are very important for our sector, and how we are dealing with this managing of the sector itself. So it's very important to know that our sector, especially the wood, has recognized that strategic importance since 2012. So from that time to now, we have very strong support by side of government, especially of Ministry of Economy, the support of companies with the subsidies to invest in the machinery, the workforce scaling up, and other incentives, so designing and so on. So this gives our sector quite good opportunity to grow. Also, the support of Peer Slovenia is very important. This is a public agency who is dealing with internationalization and development. Please, next slide. So the next level of the Slovenian ecosystem in our sector is by side of supporting organization. The top role have the Chamber of Commerce and our association. We have a lot of activities in the term to define strategical documents and also to make lobbying in different levels of toward the state, toward the ministries, toward the media, toward the syndicates and so on. So these are the main situation. And then it's supported by the wood industry cluster, which is more operative organization, supporting the association with some activities on the training, with the companies, on the forestry markets, and also international projects to support the development. Then we have also the three main research institutions who supporting our companies. One is the University of Ljubljana, then in a new Center of Excellence, and the last one is Faculty of Design. So there's three main, but we have also other one, but it's the three main support organization. Please, next slide. Here's just short insight in smart specialization. Smart specialization, how our sector is also have good position in this sense, because the one of the field mentioned before, 9 field of smart specialization, like priorities in Slovenia, is dedicated also to smart buildings and homes with wood chain together. So in this strategic partnership who support realization of implementation of the smart specialization in our sector, we are focused on some main targets. So one is strategic project make Drevo or tree. The main goal is to build up the dynamic and modular platform for demonstration, validation, and research of new technologies and products. This is like maybe a next case in Switzerland. This is our long-term goal. Then we have some already realized projects. One is the demo project, home 24 hours. We built up the whole property with all these integrated facilities and artificial intelligence and all systems together to demonstrate how we can, on the case of wooden building, integrate all the functions to everyday life and be connected also to smart cities. Next slide. And then just two or more of these, pilots. We realized that inside this smart specialization, one is showroom Soba. This is a quite new one, but it's dedicated to the, to make open space together with architects and to achieve the higher added value customers. So the high added value products. And the last one is the Competence Center of Human Resource Development in Woodworking Industry. Here we comprise together in this project about 35 companies, and over this mechanism, we're supporting the Slovenian companies to make trainings, the different levels and different topics. And this annually is supported by the subsidy of our state. So it's a great opportunity for a company not just to advance the technology, but also to advance the human resource, which is very important this time. This from my side. I hope not too long. Actually, if you need any contact in Slovenia, you can rely on us. You can find out the proper connections and also to support the first steps, the new business. And so we're actually doing a lot of the things with Italy. So we quite often have delegation in Milano, for example, or Venezia, Giulia, and we also know a lot of partners in Italian side. So please be welcome to address us, and we can find some solution also for your purpose. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernard Licar, for your presentation and also invitation. I will take for sure. Speaking about similarities, wood is really something that we have in common. We have also the majority of surface covered by wood and forest, and wood industry, wood processing, furniture is also another sector that we can develop in future. So we come to the next sectorial focus, and we go to automotive industry with Tanja Mohoric, Director of Slovenian Automotive Cluster. Please, Tanja, the floor is yours.
Daniela, thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us to present Slovenian automotive industry. I will start to share my slides. I hope everything will go smoothly as it should. So, regarding Slovenian automotive industry, I can say that we have this year 25th anniversary of establishment of automotive cluster of Slovenia. This happened in 2001. And in 2017, we upgraded the automotive cluster to Strategic Research and Innovation Partnership, ACS Plus, in the field of mobility. So if in the beginning we were just connecting automotive supplier, now we are in much broader field of mobility. And with this, we support Slovenian strategy of smart specialization. Because, of course, mobility is important for Slovenia. It is well known that Slovenia is the transport country. We have the main transport routes through Slovenia, from west to east, from north to south of Europe. Due to the strong automotive industry, we are important domain of Slovenian smart specialization strategy. Regarding some numbers, we have approximately 400 companies in Slovenia that are supplying to automotive industry, with a big share of small and medium enterprises. We have directly and indirectly, so depending on automotive industry, approximately 40,000 employees. And what is even more important is that we represent, I believe, the biggest share of GDP of Slovenian domains, economic domains, so 10% of Slovenian GDP and 25% of Slovenian export. All our companies are export-oriented. We only have one OEM, so one car producer in Slovenia. This is Renault, presented in Slovenia with Revoz company, which is assembly plant of Renault. We don't have our own car producer, and that's why all our products, I can say, from big companies, more than 95% production go to global markets. The main market is Europe, of course. In Europe, the main market is Germany, with 40% of our export going to Germany, followed by France, and then Italy, UK, Scandinavia. And we are also present with production and with the sales on all other continents. We have some companies in China, some in United States, and even now we are connecting to Saudi Arabia, for example, or to South America. The added value is exceeds 60,000 euros per employee. And we are among the most innovative industries, or I can say the most innovative industry in Slovenia, with 25% of innovation awards each year by Chamber of Commerce. As you can see from the brands that are shown below, you can actually imagine that, as we like to say, you can find at least one, but most likely three components in every vehicle that you can find that is on European roads. So there is no car actually produced in Europe that wouldn't have at least some components from Slovenia. As automotive cluster, we have approximately, at the moment, more than 100 members. And you can see here the growth of the membership. Of course, COVID stopped the growth a bit, but now we are growing again in the membership. And we have really most visible Slovenian companies, suppliers to automotive industry, component producers, but also, since we are acting in the field of mobility, we have other companies that are creating the ecosystem of automotive and mobility industry, with companies from IT, from tools production, from automation of production, smart factories. They are all finding the interest in cooperation with the core group of our members. What we do to support the automotive industry in Slovenia, we do a lot on the information, gathering the right information for our members, especially today. It's really important to have the right information, the relevant information, in the right moment. We know that things are changing so fast that we have to be flexible and we have to react fast to the changes on the market. Then we do a lot on education. Our main focus is on networking, because we want to bring different companies together to develop new ideas, develop joint solutions. So networking for us is really the core of everything that we are doing, with, as I mentioned, with a strong focus on joint projects of our members. We really motivate them, and we also initiate, as a cluster office, we initiate quite some R&D projects as well. We are following the trends in mobility. We know, at least I dare to say so, that we know where the industry is going, and that's why we are actually pushing our companies in the direction of innovation and breakthrough solutions, and I'm really glad that companies are really devoted to this activity. They are really active in participating in different R&D projects together. And internationalization, of course, is important. Today we are even more aware, due to the situation in automotive industry in Europe, that we will have to work together even more than we did till now. We are depending on each other. We have strong competition in China, and that's why we have to be even more aware that only together we can do big steps forward. And to do all this, we are also the members of European associations where we also follow the European strategies, and we contribute to European automotive strategies. And with that, we are really strongly connected to national associations, also to ANFIA, which is Italian Automotive Association in northern Italy. I already mentioned that we have a lot of challenges in front of us. You are all aware that we are going towards electrification. This is the main trend in mobility, and that's why we are really committed to reduction of CO2 footprint with all that we do with our products and also with our production. And we initiated actually to even more emphasize this commitment to joint development, to green transition and to digital transition with the mission GREMO, Green Mobility. This is the mission that shows the commitment of top 11 companies in Slovenia, that they will do everything to align their strategies with green and digital agenda of Europe. Just as a fun fact, GREMO in Slovenian means also let's go. So we are doing this together. We said, let's go towards green and digital. Still, we are aware that the competitiveness is the must. And without competitiveness, nothing that you do, either investments or development, R&D, whatever, makes no sense. So for us, global competitiveness is the must and the key issue. We will, or we are, to enhance competitiveness. We are strongly working on innovation, and as I already mentioned, commitment to R&D. We are developing strategic partnerships in specific areas of automotive industry, of components, of systems for mobility. And we are working on strong international positioning. So we are developing new business models on cooperation with China, for example, or on investment to Saudi Arabia, or connecting with European Central and Eastern European Automotive Clusters Association, and so on. The focus areas where we are regarding the products, we can say that we are actually everywhere, either in internal combustion engines, so classical vehicles, or advanced new electric vehicles. We have actually strong tradition in metal processing and in electro industry, and that's why we really easily adopted from components for internal combustion engine and cars with internal combustion engine to cars with that are electric or electrified like hybrids. But still, we cannot avoid something really important for our competitiveness, and this is production processes, production technologies. And we are not developing only products and systems for automotive industry, but we are really strongly developing also new technologies for production, new technologies, new processes, production processes, and with a strong emphasis on digitalization. And lately we are really focusing on development and introduction of artificial intelligence in our production processes. With this, we believe we are really building the resilient business models and resilient supply chains. Because what is the main challenge today, we all know, is that things are changing so fast that we have to be really very flexible, which is not really the essence of automotive industry. Automotive industry wants to be stable with defined processes, with no disturbances, and this was going on for last 100 years. But now in the situation that we are facing, we will really have to focus on developing the models that are ensuring more flexibility to respond to the conditions on the market fast. And that's why we believe that having a good network of partners definitely supports this flexibility on the market. As I already mentioned, we are really focused to green mobility, and that's why we also decided that we want to develop Slovenia as a reference country of green mobility, and we are really willing to connect to everyone and to cooperate with every company, every institution that can also contribute to the green and digital mobility in automotive industry. So this is from my side. In case of any questions, please do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you so much.
Tanja Mohoric, thank you, Director of Slovenian Automotive Cluster. So we are a little late, but we have now time for you, Lara Cernetic, to sum up a little bit and to let us know which kind of opportunities, concrete business opportunities, they could be in the sectors we have mentioned till now. Thank you, Lara.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, like Daniela said, we're really lagging back behind the time. So
we have the time for your speech.
Okay, I'll try to take my 10 minutes. Okay. So once again, thank you to all the speakers for their really valuable insights. And it has been a truly very enriching session, and we learned a lot. And now we understand better how Slovenian market works, what are the strategic developments which were really interesting, and where we are going for the next, in the period of the next 10 years, definitely. So thank you again. I will switch now to Italian and continue in that language. Buongiorno a tutti, continuo la mia presentazione in italiano perché come sapete la maggior parte di voi che partecipa comunque siete italiani, delle aziende italiane, e siamo veramente lieti che avete potuto partecipare e che c'è così tanto interesse per questo argomento. Quello che faccio, lasciatemi solo condividere velocemente le slide. Ecco. Ottimo, vediamo. Si vede, vero?
Sì.
Ok. Cercherò di un po' spiegare di quali sono altre opportunità. Ci sono stati brevemente spiegati alcuni settori dalla dottoressa Maierich all'inizio e molto interessante era soprattutto la strategia di sviluppo e qui ci torna l'argomento dove su quali settori la Slovenia punta e in quali settori ha quella margine di sviluppo nei prossimi 10 anni, diciamo. Quindi io qui volevo ancora velocemente, proprio perché poi chi è interessato possiamo sia inviarvi le slide, ma anche una descrizione più dettagliata di questi settori che menziono qui. Quindi nel settore elettronico e elettronica ci sono opportunità per le aziende italiane negli investimenti e collaborazioni industriali in questo settore, opportunità di subfornitura, outsourcing, grazie alla competitività dei costi e anche della qualità che è stata varie volte menzionata, della qualità di manodopera in Slovenia. Soprattutto vale menzionare le sinergie fra i cluster tecnologici che sono uno dei cluster più importanti è quello di Tecos, che è un centro sloveno per lo sviluppo di stampi e utensili. L'altro settore che è stato anche menzionato è sicuramente il settore energetico, in cui la Slovenia e l'Italia collabora già molto, anche Slovenia importa tantissimo dall'Italia. E qui le collaborazioni che vediamo e dove ci sono possibilità decisamente in progettazione e installazione di impianti rinnovabili, soprattutto solare, energia solare ed eolica, tecnologie idroelettriche, anche una nuova parte dell'ampliamento della nostra centrale nucleare è in previsione nei prossimi anni e questo è un progetto grosso dove ci potrebbero essere anche opportunità. Soluzioni per mobilità elettrica, quello che proprio poco fa stava dicendo la dottoressa Mokoric e su quello la Slovenia punta molto. E poi anche consulenze per efficienza energetica e reti intelligenti. C'è in corso anche un progetto molto interessante transfrontaliero della North Adriatic Hydrogen Valley che punta sullo sviluppo dell'idrogeno. E i paesi coinvolti sono Slovenia, Croazia e anche la parte italiana di Friuli, Venezia e Giulia e si sta estendendo anche in Veneto. Il settore IT, innovazione e le start-up è un settore in forte crescita in Slovenia, su cui puntiamo molto. Le collaborazioni in ricerca e sviluppo sono estremamente importanti, l'intelligenza artificiale, scienze quantistiche, biotecnologia, energie verdi. Stiamo anche sviluppando un nuovo supercomputer che avrà sede a Maribor con 150 milioni di investimento, dove l'Unione Europea ci ha dato metà di questo e anche qui si possono avere possibilità di collaborazione. Altri settori sono adesso non va avanti, scusate. Caspita. Ok, devo fare clic qua. Ok, il settore delle infrastrutture, costruzioni e logistica, come anche la dottoressa Mairi ci ha spiegato, in forte crescita anche nei prossimi 10 anni. E qui si possono fare partecipazioni ai bandi pubblici europei o transfrontalieri. Ovviamente le gare fatte in Slovenia sono sempre in lingua slovena, quindi conviene avere un partner locale con cui partecipare. Poi ci sono in corso anche grandi opere per esempio come la costruzione del secondo binario di Vaccia Capodistria, la nuova stazione di Lubiana e ammodernamento delle reti autostradali. Anche qui opportunità ce ne sono di joint venture, subappalto e quant'altro. Il settore che va anche forte, che non è stato menzionato in queste presentazioni oderne, è decisamente anche moda, abbigliamento e calzature. L'Italia è il secondo fornitore di abbigliamento e perfino il primo di calzature. Qui si vende tramite i retail locali. E quindi il brand, la reputazione di Made in Italy è molto forte e margini ce ne sono, quindi margini per introduzione di nuovi marchi, soprattutto nella fascia premium. Poi c'è anche il settore dell'aerospaziale che non ho menzionato, che è in forte crescita e abbiamo anche investimenti, e il settore farmaceutico che comunque è stato già menzionato. Qui volevo un po' solo parlare velocemente di come entrare. Abbiamo detto è un mercato piccolo, comunque il pensiero quando uno vuole approcciare un mercato va fatto, quindi come voglio entrare su questo mercato, come cerco distributori o clienti finali, o voglio un partnership industriale, o voglio una collaborazione progettuale tecnologica. Le aziende slovene, per loro sempre ancora importante, malgrado lo sviluppo tecnologico che facilita a giorno d'oggi a molti la collaborazione, comunque le relazioni personali sono molto importanti, quindi va detto che è sempre meglio poter avere l'occasione di incontrarsi di persona. Lavora come organizzato sul mercato, e poi anche col tempo sviluppare una fiducia reciproca e costruire e lavorare su quello. Qui volevo un po' riportarvi alcuni casi, ma ce ne sono veramente tantissimi, casi di successo di imprese italiane che lavorano sul mercato sloveno. Ovviamente ce ne sono più di 50 imprese italiane che sono presenti sul mercato sloveno, soprattutto quelle grandi come le varie assicurazioni, Unicredit, Intesa San Paolo, le banche, Aquafil, ce ne sono poi Eurospin, la grande distribuzione e altre. Però qui volevo riportarvi 3 casi di aziende un po' più piccole, meno strutturate, diciamo. Il primo caso A parla di un'azienda che abbiamo collaborato, sono esattamente 2 aziende trentine e un'azienda emiliana, entrambi lavorazione nel settore del legno, quindi producono case e tetti in legno, e volevano trovare nuovi fornitori perché dipendere solo dai fornitori austriaci a volte è un po' rischioso, quindi volevano ampliare la loro fornitura, e li abbiamo, insieme con Bernardi, col nostro distretto di legno, abbiamo preso contatto con Bernardi e abbiamo chiesto chi sono possibili fornitori sloveni, quali sono le segherie in Slovenia che potrebbero avere la qualità del prodotto giusta, perché poi si tratta anche di avere la giusta qualità, corretta qualità, che è al livello di quella degli austriaci, diciamo, no? E qui gli abbiamo aiutato a fare la prima scrematura, a trovare le segherie giuste, e alla fine abbiamo capito che la soluzione migliore è conoscersi di persona. Abbiamo organizzato la visita separatamente per ognuna di queste, di incontrare e andare in Slovenia. In 2 giorni sono riusciti a vedere tutte e 5 segherie che gli abbiamo proposto, e ancora giorno d'oggi lavorano con queste. Stiamo parlando adesso questo di 4 anni fa è successa questa cosa. Poi ho riportato qui un altro esempio di un'azienda emiliana che produce le tecnologie per la lavorazione del legno, sviluppa tecnologie per la produzione, lavorazione del legno. Loro erano presenti sul mercato sloveno già da quasi 15 anni tramite un distributore locale, quindi si appoggiavano a un distributore locale e invece poi 2 anni fa, nel 2024, hanno capito che forse è tempo di aprire una controllata propria in Slovenia e infatti hanno aperto un'azienda in Slovenia tramite quale coprono non solo il mercato sloveno, ma anche i mercati dell'ex Jugoslavia, il mercato balcanici, quindi Serbia, Croazia, Bosnia e Erzegovina e così e Montenegro. Quindi questo è un bel esempio come uno inizia con un partner di distribuzione e poi fa il prossimo passo più grande, diciamo, no? Un'altra azienda che questo è veramente un caso un po' anomalo, diciamo che sono un'azienda di Puglia, dei grossisti di abbigliamento, volevano inizialmente investire in Svizzera, però poi hanno deciso che sono venuti a fare un'altra visita visita turistica barra di business, si sono incontrati con vari inlocutori di loco e organizzazioni in loco a Capodistria e hanno capito che è molto interessante il paese, soprattutto anche dal punto di vista di vicinanza a tutta l'area balcanica, quello che serviva anche a loro, e poi in termini di tassazioni, regolamenti, burocrazia snella, eccetera. E quindi hanno deciso di lasciar stare la Svizzera e venire in Slovenia. Hanno aperto nel 2017 la propria filiale a Capodistria e poi negli anni, alcuni anni dopo, hanno perfino costruito il proprio magazzino di distribuzione e adesso in quest'ultimo anno, ultima perché siamo sempre in contatto con loro, stanno costruendo la casa e vogliono trasferire tutta la famiglia, quindi gli piace così tanto anche la Slovenia dal punto di vista di qualità della vita per quello che ti offre. I consigli pratici veramente venire, appoggiarsi, avete visto che abbiamo la Slovenia è piccola, abbiamo istituzioni di supporto, appoggiarsi a noi per fare un primo screening delle possibilità che esistono, siamo tutti lieti di aiutarvi e poi dopo ovviamente si organizza una visita in loco per capire meglio il mercato e le aziende e le abitudini. Con Trentino Sviluppo e con l'iniziativa Nord Est vogliamo andare oltre questo webinar di oggi e abbiamo pensato e stiamo pensando seriamente. Abbiamo parlato anche già con i nostri partner sloveni, anche loro supportano questa iniziativa di organizzare un matchmaking nel futuro prossimo breve, diciamo, dei prossimi mesi. Quindi un matchmaking tra le aziende di quelli che sarete interessati che dovrà essere veramente, cerchiamo, se vogliamo che sia più concreto possibile, cerchiamo di profilarsi bene, quindi dovete dirci bene che cosa fate, le capacità produttive, cosa vi interessa e che tipo di partner cercate e una volta strutturato bene questo, dall'altra parte possiamo trovare poi le aziende con quali potete parlare e trovarvi e capire come sviluppare la vostra collaborazione. Io chiuderei qui adesso e ridò la parola a Daniela e a voi per le domande. Grazie.
Grazie Lara. Allora abbiamo concluso, siamo anche un pochino in ritardo, mi scuso di questo, però insomma credo che le informazioni trasmesse siano state di assoluto interesse. Prenderei ancora qualche minuto nel caso ci siano delle domande. Che ricordo potete scrivere in chat oppure prenotare per farle a voce alzando la mano, poi con Ginevra cercheremo di abilitarvi a parlare. E vi ricordo che nel frattempo che i materiali saranno disponibili sul sito di Sistema Nord Est tra qualche giorno, credo. Aiutami qui tu, Luisa, se ci sono delle tempistiche più lunghe, ma non credo, insomma, credo che il tempo di condividerli saranno poi inseriti insieme alle presentazioni e nella mail di follow up riceverete anche i contatti nostri in primis, poi quelli dei relatori ci sono nelle slide, a cui scrivere per discutere di vostri progetti in questo mercato. Ecco, vi porto anche il saluto della dottoressa Mariana Majeric, che ha scritto in chat ci ha salutati per un altro appuntamento, e anche lei rinnova comunque la disponibilità a un incontro e a un approfondimento successivo via email.
E anche la dottoressa Tina Bu.
E anche la dottoressa Tina Bu. Ecco, grazie. Mi sembra non ci siano commenti, non so se siete timidi o è l'ora che magari porta a pensare al pranzo. Mi piace però pensare che questo, insomma, come è stato detto più volte, sia un primo appuntamento di altri che seguiranno. E quindi se non c'è altro, io ringrazio tutti quanti per la partecipazione. Thank you all our kind guests for all the information shared with us today. And I really think it has been a first step into a future collaboration. We are receiving many greetings and thanking notes in the chat, so I think we will close and stay in touch for future projects. Grazie a tutti, arrivederci.